Hey guys, welcome back to the Blade Bloodhound. Tonight will be the last video of this series. When I say series, I mean the last video you'll see me wearing these clothes. Sometimes I'll stack up some videos. But anyway, back to the old video we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about a knife that I picked up this weekend. I happened to be going to the flea market. I went solo this weekend. I go a lot of times with a friend. You may watch him as well. His name is, Colton Cutlery. But anyway, me and him go a lot. We goof off, have a great time. But I went this weekend alone, and there's a guy that I see there a lot that I call, well, I've named him or nicknamed him Alabama. And he has a lot of knives. Most of the time, these are knives he's picked up at yard sales, flea market. I don't know where he gets this stuff. But he always has good deals, and he has some pretty decent knives. I mean, usually they're old-timers, case or something. But he surprised me this weekend. So I'm walking around, and I found a few good knives. I did find a couple, and they'll be in upcoming videos. We're going through them one at a time as we go. But I just thought I'd throw this one out there. I had it in my pocket. I was doing these videos. I said, you know what, let's throw another one in the mix. So I go to see him, and I'm looking in his case, and he has a bunch of old case knives. He has some knives that need work, and sometimes I will buy those, but most of the time I won't. I try to buy knives that don't need anything. But I was looking in his case, and I saw a rosebud shield. So I asked him, I said, hey, what's up with this knife here? He's a, USA all the way kind of guy. And I saw that he had this knife in there. And I knew it was a Rosecraft based off this shield, but I was curious what he was going to tell me about it. So I said, what you got on that knife there? What's the deal with the knife? And he said, oh, that's just some old, $10 knife. And I said, well, what are you asking for it? And he said, $10. So anyway, I picked it up. It's a Rosecraft. I am not a Rosecraft collector. I'm not part of the Rosecraft, pass-arounds and all that stuff. Not saying that I don't want to be or I wouldn't be, but, I'm just used to old slip joint USA, older knives. But when I saw this one, I thought, wow, that one's really well made. I mean, it's probably I think new these are probably $60. I don't know how much this one would be. But I thought, what the heck? I'll pick it up. $10. I've spent that on a Coke before. Well, maybe not a Coke, but on something cheap. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, I picked it up from them, and I figured we would do a video on it. I've been carrying it. Today's the first day. I bought it yesterday. So I've been carrying it. It's got a Wharncliffe blade. It's got rosewood handles. A lot of guys that I talk to and hang out with, and, we deal with knives, they're like, I'm not going to buy a knife made overseas. That's a salty knife or whatever, which I don't want to say I'm that way. I'm not. I like all knives. Now, I will say that 99.8% of my collection is either USA or Germany, or I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I've got, some Swiss stuff, but, I try not to buy China stuff. I mean, not that it's bad. It's just that, I collect older knives. This is a, Blade Bloodhound. I find knives. I look for them. I search for them. So I don't come across stuff like this at the flea market. But anyway, I did this time, so let's take a look at it. And, really, it's well made. I looked at it. It's in great condition. It's very clean. The blade shape, I just really like this blade shape. So they called it a French broad jack. I was trying to remember that off my head because I was like, I got to remember that before I do this video. But a French broad jack knife, and pretty cool. So let's go over to the table. We're going to take a look at it and see what you guys think. All right, guys, we're back. While we were doing this video, my wife said, hey, let me see that knife. She was wanting to check it out. And she was like, that's really made in China? And I said, yes. I mean, they've upped their game. There's a few brands, there's which I don't own one, but there's a Jack, what's it called? Heck, I don't even know the name of it. Y'all all know it, I'm sure, but can't come off my head with it. But Rosecraft, you've got QSP, you've got, it's not Jack Head. I don't know what his name is, but Jack Wolf, that's it, Jack Wolf. He's doing one in China now. So there are some knives that are made in China that are well made. That Cuvist I have, is a China knife. So I'm not bagging on that at all. I mean, these are cool knives, but it was so interesting that the guy that I named Alabama at the flea market, and the reason I call him that is he wears an Alabama hat all the time, but it was really interesting to me that he found a Rosecraft. And he doesn't mark he has great prices. He does not mark his prices up a lot. So for example, he's the type of guy that if he buys a knife, say he buys it for $15, he'll sell it for $20, because to him a profit's a profit. To me, it wouldn't be worth it. But he said, hey, a profit's a profit. And that's smart, really, if you think about it. I mean, your money in the bank's not pulling all that. So anyway, enough of that lesson. Let's check out this knife. It has rosewood handles. There's the old rosebud shield. It's got these stainless steel liners. Well, does it even have a liner? Let's see here. Let me zoom in. I can't even hardly see. Yeah, it's got that liner's built in with the bolster here. And then the two back springs. So that liner's built in with the bolster, which I think is an excellent way to do things. I mean, because then you just have that one piece of metal. You don't have to, do a bolster and then throw a back spring in there. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it here. It is late, but very, very pretty. I like the rosebud shield. I like the stainless steel bolsters. Now, I did notice something. See right here, that fit and finish is not. It would be nicer if that wood was super flush with that. And I believe it is on this side. Well, no, it's really not too. It's got a little bit of a, well, no, it feels flush there. It's got a little, looks like the wood is just a little bit shorter than the actual bolster part. But pretty cool. I love a wood-handled knife. I love to see the grain in the wood. I mean, bone's by far my favorite, but there's something about wood and the beauty of wood that it just, I like the different, see, I like how that's dark right there. A lot of people would say, oh my gosh, that's an imperfection. But me, I like that look. But I figured, you know what, $10, I'm gonna pick this knife up. It'll be a good user. I'm gonna carry it a while. It's a D2 steel, excellent half stop, which all Rosecrafts have that. So I own one other Rosecraft, and it is one that I won in a knife lot. So it's the only one I own. I won it. I've never purchased one. So I guess this can be my first Rosecraft purchase. So the Tang stamp is stamped in there, which I like that. I don't like people to do the imprinted. Has a cool Wharncliffe blade with a awesome swedge right there. This would be an excellent whittling knife. I love to cut on a stick, and I used to do some whittling back in my day. When I say whittling, I mean wood carving, but it would actually work well for that. I mean, it would be a little beefy, I guess, because Well, yeah, it would. Because, I like a little short blade so I can get in there with but a very cool user knife. You can tell that no one's ever sharpened this one. It's got some fingerprints from myself. I don't know where he found this. I should have asked him more questions, but I didn't. It's got the swedge here. Old fingerprints as usual. I'm trying to take them off as we look at this blade. Tip is excellent, super sharp. This is I will say one thing now, their knives are sharp. They're made of D2 steel. That is, I think they said Andy Armstrong, that's his logo there. The model is the RCT007. The RW stands for rosewood. It's got a good kick right here. It's got a good little, I don't know what this is called, but it's for sharpening there. Has a name, it's escaping me right now, but no big deal. As you see, there's a pin right down there. They call that a stop pin. So I want to say that's a new thing, because, years ago, if you bought a knife and the blade was sticking up, you could, remove some of this kick here and it'll lay down, but that pin there is so that there's a good half stop. Let me do that again. Well, I ain't gonna lay my finger there. Some people will put their finger there to show how great it is, but not me. But it has a good half stop there. And then when you close it like this, see how that blade slams in there? So this pin, which I'm gonna try to zoom in on, down there is called a stop pin. And it hits this kick and allows for this blade not to slam in there and cause a chip or an issue. But I love the shape of this. See how it's kind of like a seahorse whittler? It's thicker up here, it comes down. They called it a French broad jack is the actual name that Rosecraft's given it. But I love how that blade shape kind of goes over here, drop point, but it's really a Warncliffe blade. Excellent knife. I'm gonna carry this for a while just to, I don't wanna say testing it out, because I'm not like I guess I do review knives, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what I think about it. I'm gonna carry it. I'm gonna review it again. Well, I don't know if I'll review it again, but I will let y'all know what I think. Also, this blade goes pretty close. If you look here, let's look at the old centering for the centering peeps. Pretty centered, I guess you can say. Yeah, it looks centered. Centered enough for me. But I love how the blade goes all the way, almost to the end of that bolster. I don't like to have a blade, come down in here, or, have a short blade with a long handle. I like the blade to be almost the length of the handle. I will say that this bothers me a little, that wood was not all the way down. I don't think wood shrinks. So I don't know if this was I don't even know if they had seconds back when this one was made. This is a discontinued model. But a cool knife. For $10, come on, people. Have y'all been to anywhere lately and got anything cool for $10? I haven't. I spend $10 on stuff that I'm like, that is crazy. But a good size knife. Let's do a little measurement check while we're here. Get my trusty tape measure out. Let's just get a little check here. All right, 3 3/4 inch long. So it's a good size knife. I kind of like that it's a single blade. I like that you can pinch it to open. It's got the fingernail pull, but do you really need it? All you gotta do is put your finger here and bam. So people like me that have no fingernails, works out good for, which is an issue with slip joints. When you have your fingernails so short that you can't never get in there and grab something. But this one you can just pinch open, as I call it, and probably the rest of the world too. But a cool knife. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I mean, do you have any Rosecraft? Do you have experience with them? Do you like Rosecraft knives? I mean, $10, heck yeah, I'll buy it. D2 steel, I mean, it's a decent steel. I mean, for a user, yeah, I'm gonna carry it in my pocket a while, cut some stuff with it, use it, see how I like it. But yeah, that kind of does bother me, that little bit of gap here from where the liner goes. I wish that wood was just a little more flush so I couldn't see that little line. But, you know, like I told y'all, I'm getting old. My eyes aren't what they used to be, so I probably won't even notice that if I'm not looking at it through a camera. Well, guys, you have a great night. You can see my cat's foot here. She's trying to jump up here and see what I'm doing. But y'all have a great night, and until next time, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Email me at bladebloodhound@gmail.com or leave a comment. Talk to you later.